Hi you two, Miss Vaughan again, and today Miss Vaughan is explaining division, which we also call sharing equally, okay? Above the line and then below the line is a dot, one dot above and one dot below, so it's sharing equally. And when we do sharing, or the sharing method, we use our 2s, 5s and 10s times table knowledge. It's very similar, so Miss Vaughan's going to explain how we use those. And then moving on to the number sentences. If we have divided by 10, we just count in tens until we get to the original number we started with. So if we had 60 divided by 10, we count in tens until we get to 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 6 fingers. So some people say, oh, Miss Vaughan, the answer's 60. That's what I got to. When we divide, it's really important that you know that the answer is the amount of fingers we have up. So if 60 divided by 6 was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, then the answer's 6, not 60. Not what we get to, how many fingers we have up. And then there's a method that we use when it isn't divided by 2, 5 or 10, and I'm going to show you that now. When we move on to division, we can use our multiplication knowledge, counting in 2s, 5s and 10s to help us divide. But we kind of do the opposite, because when we haven't got 8 lots of 10 now, we're sharing 80 into 10 groups. So we can count in the number we are dividing by until we get to the first number. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So lots of people think, 80, that's my answer, that's what I got to. But actually when we divide, the answer is the number of fingers you have up. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Miss Vaughan has 8 fingers showing, so the answer is actually 8. And then 50 divided by 10, counting in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Miss Vaughan's answer is 5. And then 10 divided by 10. So starting from 0, counting in tens, 10. Oh, and I've got to 10 already. So that must mean that my answer is only 1. And usually, if you divide a number by itself, you end up with 1. Because if I want 10 groups of 10, or 1 group of 10, I'm only going to have 10 to start off with. So then, when we move on to dividing by 2s, 5s and 10s, providing we can count in 2s and 5s, we can just do exactly the same thing again. So, counting in 2s and stopping when I get to 14. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. My answer is 7. 25 divided by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What's my answer? My answer is 5. And then 8 divided by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. How many fingers does Miss Vaughan show? 4. And then, when we move on to green, if we're not confident counting in 3s, 4s and 6s yet, there's a method that we can do. Does anybody know what that method's called? If it's 15 divided by or 15 shared by 3, we use the sharing method. And don't tell Mr. Stray, but Miss Vaughan calls it the tummies. We're sharing 15 sweets into 3 tummies, 3 people's tummies. So we draw 3 circles and then we share out 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And the big thing here, guys, is to make sure we share it equally. Because if this guy had 7 and then this guy only had 2, that wouldn't be fair, and that's not sharing equally, which is what divide means. So the answer is what is in just one tummy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 20 divided by 4. Who reckons Miss Vaughan's going to draw 3 tummies again? Or who reckons Miss Vaughan might draw 4 tummies? So if it's 20 divided by 4, I need to draw 4 tummies and share them out. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And in one tummy, Miss Vaughan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is 5. And then moving on to the purple word problems, Jack Horner is putting plums into bags. Each bag holds 8 plums. Jack has 64 plums. How many bags can he fill? So I could share out 64 dots into 8 tummies, or I could do it a slightly quicker way, because if I count to 64, it's going to take me a long time and I might lose count. So what I could do is put in numbers that I already know. So if it was 10 plums per bag, or 10 bags, sorry, of 10, then I'd end up with 100. So that's too much. So Miss Vaughan's going to start with 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then I'm not going to be able to do 5s again because 40 and 40 is 80. So now I'm going to carry on with 1. So 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. And then what does Miss Vaughan have in one bag? 5, 6, 7, 8. So my answer is 8. But Miss Vaughan made a marvellous mistake. What didn't I do? I didn't underline the other important information, and then I didn't write the number sentence. Naughty Miss Vaughan. So we start with 64 and we divide it by 8. We didn't do 8 divided by 64 because if I only had 8 sweets, I can't give them to 64 people. But I can give 64 sweets to 8 people. So when we divide, we start with the biggest number first. And then my answer was 8. And then 40 pencils are shared between 5 children. So 40 pencils are shared between 5 children. So I can count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8. Miss Vaughan's answer is 8. And then I have 24p in 2p pieces. How many 2p pieces do I have? So I have 24p and I have 2p pieces. So how many 2s are in 24? Now I could count in 2s because I can do that until I get to 24, or divided by 2 is the same as halving. So I can just halve the 10s and halve the 1s. So if I've got 2 10s and I halve them, I end up with 1 10. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I have 12 2p coins if I have 24p. So I hope that makes sense, everybody. Practice your 2s, 5s and 10s before you start, and then that will help you. Good luck!